Hello, everyone. Let's go ahead and do a solution to our coding challenge, which is called list common elements. This function should accept two lists and then return a new list that only contains the elements that are common between the lists without duplicates. The function needs to work on two lists of different sizes. Okay, so here's how this should look. Here I have list A and B. I'm going to call the function common elements, and it's going to accept those two arguments. Okay, so right here is the name of the function. I'm printing it because it's replit. And then I should return the list with only the elements in common. In order to solve this problem, I'd like to go over a hint or two, actually. We can use a condition to check if an item is in a collection. So if I have list X with 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I check if number 4 is in X and print yes, I should get a result. Okay, I'm going to uncomment this for later. I'm getting an error there. Okay, there we go. There's our hint. So I can also check if an item is not in a collection. So I'll uncomment this and run that, and then I'm going to get no. So if 5 not in X, print no. We're not going to be printing in the function, but that's a good way for us to get an indication of how these conditional statements are working. Okay, so comment that out for now just to clean up our output. Okay, nothing's showing. All right, now let's go ahead and build the function. So we're going to do def. I'm going to call this common elements. And I need a list 1 and a list 2. I want to make sure I distinguish between the parameters and the arguments. So let's not use A and B. Those are our sample values. We're going to use list 1 and list 2. Okay, I'm going to start off with a for loop to check the items. So I'll do for I and LST1. Let's just print I. Get ourselves set up here so we can actually run the commands. So now this is a good time to uncomment the sample code to check the operations using the two inputs. Okay, so right now I am able to print all of this output. But now let's add some more functionality. So instead of printing I'm going to start off by checking if I in LST2, let's check if that item is also in list 2 to show how this works. So print I will just do that for now. So now I should be getting only the items that are common to both lists. Notice I do have the repeated value of 1, and I'm going to have to deal with that. So let's deal with that next. Because I know I need to output a separate list, I'm going to create an empty list, and I'm going to call that C. C is equal to empty list. Okay. So I want to add the items to that list. And in order to add items to a list, I can do C.append I. And then let me return. I need to do more to this, but let's see what I have so far. So let's return C. Return C. Okay, so I'm getting the results, except I am getting the duplicate 1. So to add some an additional check here, additional filter, I can actually check if the item that I'm adding, that I'm considering in a particular iteration, is already in list C. So to do that, I can do and I not in C, and only then will I append an item. So the way this will work is we'll first append the 1 to list C. In the next iteration, we'll encounter 1 again, right? Because we're going to check the next item in list 1, which is a 1. If I is in list 2, which is true for the next item, it's a 1. But then we're going to check I not already in list C, and only then will we append to list C. And that deals with the issue of duplicates. So this is one solution you could use. to solve this problem. I also have some extra checks that you can run. I think so. Yeah, so we can try um, X and Y, command forward slash to uncomment, all of that. And then we can see this also will work with strings. Okay. Um, so that's a solution. There is another solution that would involve set operations. In our Unit 3 material, we talked about how we could check for common elements in two different sets. So I encourage you to take a look at that solution um, and see if you can come up with a way to change the lists into sets. You use a set operation to check for the common elements and then output a new list with only those common elements. So it would involve converting from list to set and then from set back to list. But that would be a really interesting thing to try.